I've launched one of the demo exams here. Here we can see a bunch of short axis images. I'm going to go ahead and click on the function tab. And I'm just going to click on this lightning bolt right here. Now the preferences that I've chosen are smooth regions of interest, namely the papillary muscles and trabeculations are included in the ROI in this particular option. I've chosen the left ventricular endocardium and epicardium to segment both of those, all phases and all slices. And I've chosen to segment not just the LV, but also the right ventricle as well. And so the computer is now segmenting 15 slices, 30 phases each, for a total of 450 images. And here you can see them all displayed here, and we can go through the individual phases. Now this may be more data than some of you are interested in. We have a nice option here where we can choose just to look at end diastole and end systole, or we can choose just to look at the endocardium. And now things may look more like what you are used to tracing. Here you can see the endocardial traces for both the LV and the RV. You can see a beautiful volume versus time curve here, even though we're only displaying the end diastolic and end systolic traces. And you can see that we're getting similar stroke volumes. But how do we know these stroke volumes are correct? 79 cc's for the left ventricle, 72 for the right ventricle. Well, we can look at this flow module here. We can, for instance, look at pulmonary artery flow. Just click on the lightning bolt here. It will automatically, without any user input, segment the pulmonary artery and gives us about 80 cc's of flow here, which you can see. We can go to an aortic flow, and we can ask that to be automatically segmented as well, which you can see here. We're getting about 76 cc's per beat. So 76 for the aorta, 81 for the pulmonary artery, 79 for the left ventricle, 72 for the right ventricle. Pretty good. Is there anything we can do to make them better? Well, we could look at the long axis views and add a basal line. So for instance, here is a 4-chamber view, which I like to use for showing the right ventricular end on the basal line. So here is the RV. I can go ahead and click here. Just check the end systolic line here as well. Make sure I'm happy with that. And now we can do the same thing. I like to do it on the 2-chamber view, which we can find here. I can do that for the left ventricular basal line. I can make that measurement there. Make sure I'm happy with it at end diastole. Looks pretty good. And here you can see we have 83 cc's for the left ventricle, 75 cc's for the right ventricle, 81 cc's for the pulmonary artery, and 76 cc's for the aorta. So all very much in agreement.